guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 81 of our Heart of Midlothian save, our bid to take them to the top of Scottish football, and welcome to a brand new season where we are defending Scottish champions. That just sounds good, doesn't it? Let's have a look here. Let's start the new season by seeing what we are expected to do. We are expected to qualify for the Champions League. Now that is, if you remember from last episode, there was of course a transfer special going through the pre-season last episode. That's first and second a guaranteed Champions League group stage qualification, and I think third, wasn't it? I think there was a third team now that goes into the qualification round. So that should be no problem whatsoever. We're expected to reach the group stage of the Champions League. Job done. We're already there as Scottish champions. Expected to reach the final of the Scottish Cup. Could we do a three-peat of Scottish Cups, which would be nice. And Betfred Cup expected to reach the final. I think we have a deep enough squad this year that we could maybe do that, even playing our reserves. You can see we're away to St Mirren in the second round of that. Now St Mirren, I think, no, they're not a Premiership club, so they must be a Championship club. We have a look at the sort of the pre-season. Oh, look at that. Title holders' hearts. The pre-season preview here. You can see we're second favourite, still behind Celtic, but we are ahead of Rangers now, which is good. If we look at the media dream team, only Dominguez is in there. The rest, otherwise it's just a Celtic team. Key players, we also have Harry Cochrane as one of the key players. And is there anybody else? No, just the two. I mean, we're massively underrated still, aren't we? Even as Scottish champions. That's almost outrageous. So there we go. That's what's expected of us. If we have a quick look, what else do we want to do here? We'll show you the transfers. We did, as I said, do a transfer special last time out, but just as a quick refresher, you can see the players that left there. The only major one, really, I guess, is Usi Tutu, but we have other right backs, so there was no need to sort of keep him. As for the signings, Stephen Eadie was a youngster, someone we could look to see in the Betfred Cup. So we got him in. Patricio Drea is one of the big ones. 2.6 million for him, for a young 18-year-old Argentinian that Manchester City were interested in signing. But mentally, look at that for an 18-year-old. Physically as well, just the jumping reach needs a little bit of work on him. Jordan Holland is just the backup that we signed. Free transfer. I think he came through from Liverpool, if I remember correctly. Mentally and physically, he's good. He does need to work on his game technically, but at 18, there's still plenty of time to do that. And the big one, we signed Carlos from AC Milan. That's right, Hearts signed a player from AC Milan. 4 million rising to 6 million. And I think this guy could hopefully be a difference maker for us. Really good physically. Dribbling, finishing is absolutely sensational. Still only 19, so plenty of room to improve. And he has most of the key attributes mentally there for a striker as well. Composure, off the ball's not too bad. So, yeah, I'm hoping we've signed some really good players there. Now, how did pre-season go, I hear you ask? It went amazingly well. Look at some of those scores there. First up, we played Atletico Bilbao, 7-1. Now, I had to check. This is like the Atletico Bilbao, like La Liga team. 7-1. Lancaster got a double. Dimitri Mitchell, Jones with a double. Hartford and Brewster as well. That sent shockwaves around Europe, I'm sure. Then we played Melbourne Knights, a personal unfavourite of mine. I hate Melbourne Knights from back in the old NSL days back home. It was good to get a 4-0 win over them. Dozzell, Cameron and Brewster with a double. Then we played Broxburn. We did go on a pre-season tour of Australia, if you weren't aware of that. I'm not quite sure where Brox and Athletic are. I don't know. I think they're Australian, I think. But anyway, 8-0 was against them with O'Connor, Turnbull, Brewster with a hat-trick, Cameron, Hartford and Jones. Away to Schalke. 2-2, decent result that one. Uche and Eadie with the goals there. Then we went away to Dortmund and beat them. Sensational stuff. Uche and Lancaster this time. And then we played Perth Glory away from home, an affiliate club of ours now. 4-0, an own goal. Carlos on his debut with a double. And Anthony Turner, our young left-back whiz kid, with a goal as well. So pre-season has gone... It's gone well, hasn't it? You would have to say. So today we're going to be playing away to Inverness in the first game of the season. Then we host Rangers in the second game. Two huge games to get things underway. But I think basically at this point we want to just see. We'll have a quick look at the finances to see where we're at. And obviously transfer window is still opened. You can see there, though, that finances could be a little bit better. We basically can spend what we have, but there is, of course, Champions League money still to come here. Quick update of facilities. We are updating, of course, the training facilities, which is good. There's a new stadium on its way as well. It says there they're still in the process of planning that, aren't they? So it's probably not going to show up here. But that's why our expansion was cancelled there. I mean, it's looking good, to be honest. If we look at the facilities for the new year, you can see there we are looking for a site for a planned 31,500 seater stadium, which would be amazing. Superb training facilities, which will hopefully go up to state of the art once the expansions are done. Excellent data analysis facilities. We might look to update those as well, see if we can get all state of the art. Youth recruitment and development is looking good. We're in a really, really good spot here. Now, hopefully with a new stadium, the corporate facilities will be improved as well, so we'll be able to get more money in through the club in that way as well. But I think that's everything we wanted to show you. So let's go and have a look at what we are expecting here. If we just quickly scroll back through to the match preview screen. There it is there. We are away from home, but we are still the favourites, as you would expect, which is good. What are we expecting? I mean, it's the first game of the year. We can't know for sure. But John Robertson is still their manager. He's been there for a long time now. Adventurous and direct. And the analysis report, I don't know if they will be 4-4-2, to be honest, but that's how they played their last game and lost to Ross County. I'm assuming that would have been a friendly, or it may have been a Betfred Cup game, actually. So we can see the ins and outs of them there. But this is the first team of the season that we are sending out. It's Amar in goal, our goalkeeper who we signed in January last year. He's coming along nicely, and I think he'll do a good job for us. Taylor, we promised him first team football. We're going to give him the first game of the year based on that. And we might even, what's his face? He's injured. He's just coming back from injury, Dimitri Mitchell, so he's not really ready anyway. Porty O'Connor gets the start ahead of Hehu, because Hehu, he wants to leave, basically. He's unhappy with us right now, so we'll wait and see. He's really good, isn't he? But we'll give O'Connor this game. He's a good defender. It should be fine against Inverness. Coping is going to get the start with him for this first game, along with Johnson at right back. It's going to be the old two in midfield. Well, not old, but the usual two. It's Cochrane, who's an absolute star, and Davey Turnbull as well. Again, Dominguez just coming back from injury. We'll try and give him some time off the bench, and we want to use him against Rangers. Now, of course, Jones has picked up an injury, so he's not available for this one. So Brewster's going to get the start on the right. You can see he was in goal-scoring form in pre-season. It's going to be Hartford and Lancaster. And if you did miss the end of the special, the transfer special, our boy Claire is out for a long time with a broken leg. Was it 6 months? 4 to 6 months with a broken leg. So that really, really sucks. And it's going to be Carlos up top. We just saw him, the new boy, the new striker. See if he can bang in some goals. On the bench, we're going to have Maurice, a young backup goalkeeper. Dreer, who will try and give a debut to if we can manage it. McIntosh, one of the youngsters, one of the young fullbacks. Dominguez, who we know is on loan from Real Madrid, a former player. He came through our academy, though. Dozzle on the bench for this one as well, along with Anthony McDonald, who was a young player of the year last year, and of course Uche, who is now happy. So he's there if we need him. So they are indeed playing 4-4-2. Just the one debut for us. No debuts for them whatsoever. That's strange for first game of the year, isn't it? Ideally, I think I would have played Uche in this one and kept Carlos fresh for Rangers. But the thing is, Carlos needs match fitness. Do it for the fans. What do we say? All right. Let's give the fans a performance they're expecting of us here. We'll just go some calm. We have faith. I will tell the debutant, actually, pressure's off today, mate. Just go out there and do your thing. Yeah. And here we go. Yeah, I mean, the general consensus from the transfer special was that, I mean, we did some good business. Carlos looks to be a favourite. Yeah, so I'm hoping with his dribbling and finishing that what he'll be is just someone that will make the difference in Europe, or more so Europe than in the league, because we saw last year we won the league, we have goals in us. Obviously it's a big loss losing Sean Clare, but we can give game time to the youngsters, so hopefully that'll be okay, and then make sure Lancaster plays the big games. Oh, it's a red card. That looked ridiculously harsh, but we're up against 10 men now, and you'd like the Davey Turnbull's picked up or not, so we're not going to muck around with that. We can bring Dozzle on for him. Yeah, we'll bring Dozzle on. We'll keep Dominguez for Rangers. That looked just a pulled thigh. Hopefully that's not too serious for Davey Turnbull. It shouldn't be if we take him straight off. What was I saying? That looked like a really, really harsh red card, if I'm honest. But they're down a man in midfield. Here we go from the corner. Dozzle knocks it in. He's a good corner taker. It's headed away. It's there for Hartford, though. Bit of space for a shot. And Lewis Hartford opens our account for the year. First goal for him. Half an hour in. We're 1-0 up. Away to Inverness. And may that be the first of many, many Hearts goals this season. Well, let's demand a little bit more. He did really well, didn't he? A little bit of composure. Good first touch, found the space, and the goalkeeper was completely shielded, wasn't he? It was a really good finish from Lewis Hartford. He was maybe a little bit disappointing last year with his goals return, but that is a good way to start this season off, isn't it? The good thing, if we can, maybe up against 10 men, go and nick a couple more goals here so we can give Dreer a game. Maybe for Porty O'Connor. Celtic is winning. We saw Rangers were winning, and they're sort of our two main rivals, I think. Well, they are the two main rivals. Aberdeen as an outside chance, maybe. What do we say to this? They're a man down, don't let your performance levels drop. Or am I not pleased? No, they're a man down, don't let your performance levels drop. That's what we need to say there, isn't it? We'll get back out there. I'm actually wondering, if they are a man down, maybe we just try and suck the life out of this thing. Just lower the tempo, and not the good pass there from Hartford. I think Lancaster did just about all he could there. Yeah, we'll just lower the tempo, pass them to death, and hopefully gaps will open up for us. Here we go with Lancaster. Look outside you, mate. Look outside you. Look at the space that our left back's in. There he is. We find Taylor. Can he get a cross in for Carlos? No, he can't. It's a horrible cross. Oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. Lancaster's going to take it. I'm tempted. They're going to send him off as well, ref. That would be harsh. I'm tempted. Oh, they did send him off. Wow. It's good to see the referee got his unmarked envelope. Against 9 men now, so this should be job done. Lancaster with 2 goals up. That is not. There's no way back from here, is there? I actually feel a little bit bad for him now. 2 red cards, and I don't think either of them were red cards. I mean, especially for a penalty, it has to be violent conduct basically, or making no attempt to play the ball, and that certainly wasn't that. So let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe I did miss something there, but I think they've been really, really hard done by there. Carlos only playing at 6.5. Not a great debut so far, but that's fine. He'll get used to the way we play. Cochrane out there for Johnson. Johnson squares one in there for Lancaster to double his tally. I tell you what, if this is the way we're going to play this year, we're up against 9 men, so let's not get too excited. But it's looking good, isn't it? It's looking really, really good. Hitting the ground running. And one thing we will do, I think, is we will give our young new Argentine defender, it's a good opportunity to give him some game time. We might bring him on for Bobby Coping, I think, because I do kind of want to use him as a ball-playing defender, I think, long-term. Just because he doesn't have he can't jump anyway. We can, but not as good as we perhaps would like. So I think long-term, his role is going to be playing next to a He-Who or an O'Connor or sort of a big brute of a guy anyway. So we'll get this debut out of the way. Are they going to go down another man? Are they going to go down? Well, that looked a little bit lungy. They are going to go down another man. They're going to get the game abandoned. This is ridiculous. They're down to 8. They're down to 8 players. A 3rd red card on the opening day. What is going on? Dreers there can't quite win the header. And there we go. Oh, I did just want to quickly mention, I'm going to record that after this. I'm recording this on Sunday. My monthly update, channel update. I'm going to be talking about my FM20 plans on that. So if you haven't already, go and check it out and let me know. I'll give you what I'm thinking, and then any feedback, any suggestions, I'm all ears on what you guys want to see. The feedback you guys give me is absolutely brilliant. It's sort of the reason now why I don't do goals of the month and I do a recap. That was basically you guys, and and I think Dozzle just over the bar. I think that's much better, and from what I understand, you guys enjoy that better more as well. So please go and check that out and let me know what you think and any suggestions. As I said, don't be shy to leave them because that's. Basically, I've got to do something that I enjoy, but I'm making videos that you guys want to watch as well. So, I am not pig-headed enough to not listen to feedback. Here we go with Carlos. Come on, mate. Show us what you can do. Carlos, he dribbles past one. He squares it. Oh, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning from Carlos. And Lancaster gets his hat-trick. 4-0. It's not really fair up against... Was it... What's 11 minus 3? 8 men. But it's really good, isn't it? Look at this. Just have some of that, son. Have some of that. Squares it back. Lancaster can't miss. And do we maybe look to take Lancaster off? Now, he has his hat-trick and save him for Rangers, I wonder. We do have... Hartford's looking tired as well. All right, so maybe let's take Hartford off. We'll bring McDonald on for him. Yeah, we might do that. 15 minutes to go here. It could be anything, but we don't need to show off here, do we? Maybe just a 5th or 6th would be nice. Here we go with Harry Cochrane now. What's he got for us? I'd like to see Carlos get a goal if he could. Get him off the mark nicely. Here we go with Dozzle. Oh, that's a goal for season contender in the first game of the year. It's 1 goal for Dozzle. It's 5 goals for Hearts, and it is certainly 1 goal nominated already for goal of the season. That was an absolutely stunning strike by Andre Dozzle. He could be an important player for us this year, actually. I think he was a little bit underrated last year. When we lost Harry Cochrane, he was sort of the man that came in, and we didn't really miss Harry Cochrane anywhere near as much as we could or should have, perhaps. But at 5-0, we're almost certainly going to be top of the table. Can we go flag to flag, top of the division? That would be something, wouldn't it? I'd like to do the 100 points this year if I'm not being too greedy, but that probably is being a little bit too greasy. A little bit disappointing. It looks like this is an end of game highlight that we didn't get Carlos off the mark, but I tell you what, 5 goals. We dominated the game, albeit they were unlucky, weren't they? They really were. But we were excellent. I'm gonna be assertive. Do not get complacent, because sometimes when you do that on the opening day, there can be a hangover. So there we go. Jambos meet expectations in dominant win. Turnbull's injury is semi-serious, to be honest. 2 weeks for when we took him straight off. That could have been a lot worse. I'm glad we did that. Lancaster gets things underway with a hat-trick. That's what we like to see from him. And guys, wait right there. Next up, we host Rangers. Can we do something similar to them? Okay, welcome back. It is time to host Glasgow Rangers in a huge early season game. We are the favourites, obviously it's too early to tell on form yet. They are still a Philip Cocu coach team, balanced direct, exactly the same as last season. I kind of forget how I played them last season, but I think I remember. We can see this is how they play. They scrape past Kilmarnock at home in the opening game there. Positional heat map, look a little bit of a gap between centre-backs and full-backs perhaps. So we might be able to get in behind them there. You can see their passing network and their key passes. This is the team we're sending out. We are changing things up a little bit because I'm pretty sure we went like this against them last season, didn't we? We do have a few match-fatigued players as well, so I'll try and point them out where they are as we go along. So Amar is the goalkeeper. We're going to keep Taylor. Proctor comes in because Hehu and O'Connor are match-fatigued. So Proctor and Coping are the centre-backs with Johnson at right-back. Cochrane, Dominguez and Dozzell. We're going to go with Dozzell because Hartford isn't really a natural in this position. And obviously Dominguez comes in for the injured Turnbull. Brewster and Lancaster continue out wide. Carlos continues up front. Now his match sharpness is still not great, but it'll come good eventually. Now, one piece of news, transfer window-wise, since in the week in between the 2 games here, is that Kieran Lang, we had a bid from Liverpool. He did kick up a stink wanting to leave. I had Darnell Johnson have a word with him. He sort of calmed him down, but he's on a long-term contract, 2028. We're in 2023, so he's on a long-term deal. I don't believe there's a buyout clause. No, there's not. So we don't have to worry necessarily. The only thing is, does he kick off a little bit like Hehu has? But so far, so good, but worrying. So they are playing as expected. Oh, that reminds me. Celtic have changed their manager. Bielsa has left. I forgot to mention it in the transfer special. Bielsa's left, and Marcelino, I think it is. He's done really well in Spain. He's the new manager. I don't know how he plays yet. Tell the team to pick up where they left off. Go out there and enjoy yourselves tonight. Go out there and impress me. I think I want you to impress me tonight, boys. What we don't want is complacency. Sometimes after a big win like that opening day, performances can drop very heavily for the second game, but we don't want that. But yeah, so Celtic have a new manager. I don't know too much about him, how they're going to play. That'll be for us to discover when we play them for the first time, I guess. But they won their opening game 3-0, so they're obviously not going to... I mean, it's still going to be Celtic, isn't it? They still have more money than God as far as Celtic teams go. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Not the best start here for us, but we do now get a highlight. Is it actually going to stay our highlight? Good ball there for Dozzell, a little bit of space. Dozzell runs into space. Can he pick out... Oh, it's a handball. Dominguez! Oh, I tell you what, that looked Dozzell-esque, didn't it, from this Inverness game, that one. Johnson's looking nervous. No need to be nervous, my friend. Just relax and run up and down that right wing, please. Anything we want to change? We've got Hickey on the bench for this one as well. Otherwise, the bench is essentially the same. I'm not sure if we're going to... I want to try and get Carlos up to match speed as quick as possible, but I'm not completely sure if he's going to be able to do the full game this time. That's poor defending from the corner, and we find ourselves behind to Morales. He scored a lot of goals against us in the past, and... Alright, sorry about that. There was a weird... I've clicked on something there I didn't mean to, but we'll look to exploit the flanks. We might be more expressive now as well. Yeah. Not the start we wanted. We'll need to do some work on defending corners, clearly. I mean, that's really soft, isn't it? Completely unmarked in the 6-yard box. That's not what we wanted. Demand more, boys. Come on. You're defending champions now. More's expected of you. It's been a relatively even half, to be honest. It's just the one moment hasn't gone our way, but we'll yell at them anyway because... excuse me, my voice is going. Because why wouldn't we yell at them if you have the chance to yell at your players? A really, really poor performance from Carlos up there by himself. I'm wondering if we need to stick a number 10 in here. We have not got a grip of this game yet, have we? Which, needless to say, is really just a poor pass. I think we need to lower our tempo, perhaps. We're just trying to do things maybe a little bit too quickly for ourselves, and it's not working. Come on, demand more. We'll give it a little bit of time here, see if there's anything that we can get going. It doesn't look like there is. We'll tell him to show some passion, and then we might need to make changes. Dozzle for Brewster. Brewster turned into trouble there, really. There wasn't much space out there. Here we go with Dozzle. Dribbles his way in. Dozzle! Signs of life. No power behind the shot, though, was there? Show some passion, boys. Come on. Yeah, it's a lot of 6-3s in there. We're going to make some changes here. Do we need to change? Oh, we're 2-0 down. All right. Nothing is working, is it? Nothing is working. So I think the first port of call here might be to change formation. We'll keep Cochrane on. I think we might keep Dozzle on as well, actually. He's looked bright. So we'll put him as a central midfielder. We'll bring on Hartford for Dominguez. I will leave on Carlos for now, even though he's had an absolute nightmare. I have faith in you to make the difference. I'm just wondering if I need to change anything else the way we're playing. As good as we were, maybe even... This is always what happens. I always find this happens when you win a game like that opening day, that you always get a bit of a letdown. I mean, it's another set piece, isn't it? I think maybe we just need to work on that as well. Let's just stick with that. We want to stop them from passing out from the back. Yeah, alright, let's go with that for now. Here we go, Dozzle, over a free kick. It's a decent one in there. Oh, it's bouncing around, and Lancaster, 4th goal of the year already, gets us back in the game. That's what we needed, way back in. Let's tell him to concentrate. It was, I mean, it's lucky he slid in. It's gone straight through the goalkeeper's legs. 2-1 though. There is life in this game for us now. All right, I'm going to bring Uche on. It's just not Carlos's day, is it? We'll bring Uche on as the pressing forward. Who else did I see was having a bad day? Taylor. We only really have McIntosh, and I'm not convinced he's a difference maker, so we might just hold off on that for now. All right, here we go. Come on, Taylor. Show me why I left you on. Hartford for Dozzle. Is he going to get there? No, he's not. A loose pass from Hartford, and that's Ikets, and of course, one of our old boys. What is going to happen here? Come on, put pressure on. Can we win that ball back, please? Can we win the ball back, please? Oh, it's a rough ball back for the goalkeeper. Can we pick it up? No, the keeper's done really well there. We need to get stuck in here, boys. We're standing off them too much. Come on. I do wonder if we're a little bit too high up the pitch defensively. There's too much space in front of our back four. We got back. Oh, we didn't clear it. Who was that? Dozzle, you got back, mate, and you just towed it to nobody. And as good as we were, this has just been a really disappointing performance, hasn't it? Maybe that I shouldn't have said go out there and impress me. I should have been a little bit more, I don't know. Look at this. It was Dozzle, wasn't it? He got back. You did the hard stuff, mate. Just hack it behind, honestly. Oh, that's really, really I don't know what change I made, but we'll keep going with it anyway. And it's a long way back from here, isn't it? Brewster's, we just haven't played well. Brewster's having a poor day as well. Johnson for Cochrane. Can we get another goal back for Johnson? That's nice. Hartford for Cochrane. Back in for Hartford. Hartford! Oh! Couple of chances we've had like that you would maybe have liked to have seen go in. If we're having a lot of the ball now, aren't we? Here we go with Lancaster. Can he get a fifth? Oh, I tell you what, how's he not got a fifth? How did that stay out? And that is going to be a throw. Come on, boys. It's just not been our day. We've just had a bad day at the office, haven't we? All right, let's give the youngster a game. We're looking anxious and nervous. Come on, boys. Show some passion here. Is there anything in this game for us? Come on. Oh, it's all a reality check, I think, that we put this down to, don't we? We're not as good as we perhaps thought we were. Silly game to lose at home. Set pieces killed us, though, didn't they? So we'll definitely be working on that in training. But that was just... It was just a poor performance. There's no other way around that. So there we go. Rangers go top. It was just a really... It was just disappointing all around, wasn't it? Nobody played well. An early league table, we find ourselves with 1-1. That's really, really frustrating. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. If you have enjoyed that, I mean, Inverness was good, wasn't it? Went downhill after that. But do make sure you hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you think in the comments. I just think it was. Honestly, I think it's just partly it's one of those days. Partly we need to work on defending our set pieces. But look at that. I mean, so many 6-3s and that's just not what. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you next time, guys. We'll come back. It'll be our first game in the Champions League. It'll be the derby against Hibs. Some exciting times ahead. See you tomorrow, boys. Take care.